Joining us in the studio this afternoon. We've got John and Zoe back in the studio, and Louise is joining us this afternoon. Welcome all.
Nice to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to have you all here. Okay, so firstly, let's just start with John and Zoe, and then we'll talk to you, Louise. So John and Zoe, you were here, was it a month ago?
Approximately.
Yeah, about a month. And you were talking about your would you call it a workshop? Was it a
Our
workshop?
masterclass workshop.
Masterclass workshop. How did it go?
Oh, look, I thought it went magnificently. A lot better than I anticipated.
Yeah, good.
And that's simply because I had never spoken in front of a crowd.
Really?
Not in front of 31, 32 people. I know Zoe has.
Yeah.
So for me it was a first.
Yeah, and it went well.
I felt comfortable anyway. So.
Well, that's good.
But I think Louise will be a better judge of that when she has a turn.
And Zoe?
It was great. It was a great experience. Learned a lot from the experience, and we'll let you know a little bit later on about what we're doing.
Yeah, I want to know what's coming up. And Louise, how did you find the course?
Oh, I thought it was excellent. It really opened my eyes to a new way of thinking about how I manage my money, and also how my sort of set patterns of thinking can be changed, so that can sort of make those decisions a lot easier.
So for those of you listening who didn't hear John and Zoe, could you just do a quick recap on what your course was about?
So we're marrying two different disciplines together. My background is trading and investing in the stock market. So my part was to implement some of trading strategies and how to view the market, the overall market, and how to participate, whether it was the right time to participate or not. So just basically gave a technical overview about how I see the market. And Zoe
Was working with mindset, helping people understand about our conditioning and how we create our realities, and just giving them an overview of how they can actually take their power back in their life. And went through a few visualization exercises to just help them understand that a little bit more.
Is that how you started it?
No, that was part during the
During
day, and then at the end.
Yeah.
But it gave them a little bit of a teaser about what's in store for the future.
Yeah, that's it. So how do you do that? What sort of like a relaxation? What did you call it? Visualization?
Just a creative visualization.
Oh, okay.
Without
What,
breathing.
just a few minutes?
Just for a few minutes, yeah,
Yeah.
just to give them a taste. So the feedback was good with that afterwards. So that's fantastic.
So how do you do that? Can you do one now? Like
Probably
a 30-second
while people are driving home in their cars.
No, not while people are driving. But so what do? You just say, like, just in a nutshell, you say what? Okay, sit back in your chair, chill out, relax.
Something like that. Just get them focused on their breath, because the breath is very powerful, and whatever we breathe into, we give life to. And the whole concept of the workshop was to get people back into their power and understanding what they can create themselves, from my part.
Because you hear that a lot, don't you? People talk about breathing, whether it be in yoga or meditation, or just someone's stressed or anxious. Your first thing the nurse or doctor says, or friend or family, is breathe.
That's
we always
right.
forget, don't we? We do it sort of automatically, but we forget that we've got to breathe properly.
We definitely do. Helps to keep us centered, keep us calm, and can make rational decisions.
Yeah, that's right. Very good. And what's the market like now in a nutshell, John? How are we going? Is it a good time for people to trade, or hold out?
It's always a good
eggs
time
in
to
the
trade.
basket?
It's always a good time to trade, providing that you've got a better understanding of the market. I think there's a lot of uncertainty at the moment for a lot of people, even the so-called professionals, the economists. But it's certainly, I feel that there's certainly lower prices ahead. So that's my view. Unfortunately, due to limitations as far as compliance is concerned, can't really talk about and give too many, well, not any tips.
Oh yeah, of course. No.
But
no, we're not giving financial tips.
We're not giving any financial advice,
No.
right? So this is just an opinion. It's just mine. But I think we are in for certainly lower prices, which pose great opportunities, great buy opportunities for the longer term. But for people that are into intraday trading, which is basically in and out within the same day, the volatility is there. There's great opportunities.
Why are the prices going down? Just like the war in
I think the war in the Ukraine is an excuse. I think for a long time we've been kicking the can down the street, there's too much that.
And what COVID created
Well,
around the world.
don't get me started on COVID
Yeah.
because I'm the wrong person to speak about COVID.
No, but what it
and
did
my
to the
views.
world financially.
Well, look, financially, what it actually did is it created artificially higher equity prices, and no one can really explain how and why we had countries and governments and businesses that were shut, and consumer spending as a result reduced because we couldn't go out and spend money, right? We could internet shop, but that was about it. Yeah, you've got a whole lot of companies that have had higher asset prices as a result. So that, and I'm a simple person, that to me didn't make sense. But eventually we get to have to pay the piper, and that's what's happening now. So when you get, it was a very similar scenario to the GFC, where we had companies that were actually earning less money, but asset prices just kept on rising, and inevitably we had a considerable correction. And I have a view that that's what's been coming now for some time. I've been calling the index probably for the last 6 to 8 months, when it was trading around 7,500, that's the ASX 200, to have a target of 6,200. And where we are now after today, let's have a look. Today,
Do you follow all the time, like morning, noon, and night, and every hour in between? I bet you do.
Unfortunately, yes, but I do love it. It's
You love
today
it.
we close at 6,469. So
What does that mean for us?
that, what in my view, that we've got at least another 300-400 points of downside, and then what happens after that, buckle up, basically.
I didn't understand that, but that's okay. You know what you're talking about.
All I'm saying is just be prepared for potentially lower prices. That's all. Which again poses great opportunities.
Does it?
It does.
He knows.
Oh my God. Do you sleep like? I mean, do you go to bed and then just sleep right through, or do you just your subconscious wake you up and go, oh, 2 o'clock? What's it trading at now?
No. I've been sleeping like a baby for the best part of 20 years now.
So you don't get up in the middle of the night.
No need for that.
I thought you had to when you traded stocks.
Well, it depends.
You know,
It depends
shares trading.
what you're trading. The latest that I would stay up, depending on daylight saving, would be one in the morning. But I trade usually the Australian Open, the London Open, which is in the afternoon, and depending on how I've gone and how I've done, maybe the US market, which starts currently at 11 p.m.
Mm.
But I don't stay in front of my screen all the time. It's
Yeah.
just certain time frames.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I remember sort of hearing on the news, like when Trump was in power, you know, about the stock market, how it sort of changed when he was running the show.
Well, look, the US market has been on an upward trajectory for some time now, compared to our market. Our market only makes up 2% of the global economy, so we're very small compared to the US market, which is the leading global indicator, and that's where the fear is at the moment. Because if the US falls into a recession, inevitably we will too. It's just the cycle. So the US, China is the US's biggest consumer, and we supply China. So the saying goes, when the US sneezes, Australia catches a cold as a result.
Mm.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll always find a way.
See what happens. All right. So you've got something coming up. Tell us about that.
What we've got coming up is because we've been inundated with inquiries after our initial workshop about doing both privates as well as some group workshops. So we are organising a full day workshop for February, which after the experience that we've had, the common theme was that we needed to have more time. So that was the feedback. The 4.5 hours that we had allocated wasn't enough. So we're looking to have a full day workshop, but we're also working on 2 intensive workshops as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be rolling out early next year too.
Mm. And the good thing about sort of doing workshops is that it evolves, doesn't it? It changes all the time. What you sort of had planned, then you learn from that and you change it up for the good points, the not so good points. You know, we're always sort of changing things up. So have you sort of looked at that, and you're going to change anything about what you did, or
Well, it was certainly a learning curve. Certainly we've learned not to be dismissive with anything. So absolutely. Zoe, do you want to?
No, most definitely. And also it's very interesting being able to bring the two fields together, because they're so vastly different.
Yeah.
So there's a few extra things that I'm going to put in, especially with the next day workshop. And as John said, we do need extra time. 4 hours was enough for a first starter for the masterclass, but will definitely be a longer day. And the intensives will be a lot more in depth as well.
So I thought 4 hours was a lot, but I suppose once you get into it, you do need more time. Makes sense.
Look, we both love our fields as well. We're both passionate
When Zoe
about
starts
fields.
talking, she takes the floor.
And when you get questions too from people, did people
Absolutely.
ask questions?
They
Were
did. They
you
asked
there?
questions.
They
It was
did.
very interactive.
Yeah.
And the diverse range of age groups, ranging from
20?
early 20s to late 50s.
Mm.
It was excellent.
So what are some of the things that people sort of say, what are their blocks, or what are their fears, or what was holding them back for them to come to this course, and how has the course helped them?
Well, working like privately with people, the main thing that comes up is fear, uncertainty and doubt. So the course wasn't, people didn't really go into their individual circumstances. It was more informative about what's actually happening, ways of actually dealing with it, just to make them aware that you can actually create change and change limiting decisions and beliefs to create better outcomes and make better decisions.
But do people sort of say after or before, like, I want to do it because, or after they said, oh, you know, I got something from it, or geez, that clicked in my head that maybe I've been doing this wrong, or I can open up the channels within me that way, or how I think and do things differently?
I got a bit of feedback afterwards about people, they had a better understanding of where they were actually at. So I think the light bulb came on for them, and now they've got some resources. I've seen them privately to actually work with them to actually start creating their new way of thinking and applying information to whatever they're doing. So, and it's a very interesting subject, because it's your personal well-being and mental health, and not everyone wants to share that in an open forum.
But I thought they spoke to you like one-on-one.
Yeah, definitely one-on-one. Definitely one-on-one.
Yeah,
It was great.
very good. And Louise, you'll be back?
Yes, because I, sort of dabbled in shares, for the last 20 odd years or whatever, but having the information that I got from John really opened my eyes to how technical it is and how to understand it a bit better. And then the fact that with Zoe's sort of prep towards that, I think that helps you to be more open to that new learning. So it really worked well together, having the two sort of, like they said, it's totally different parts of your brain you're using, but it actually works really well together.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Anything else we want to share before we wrap it up?
It was an excellent experience to do it. We're really looking forward to bring power back to the people and helping them take control of their lives, obviously financially and their mental health, and to create their best outcomes.
Yeah, that's right. And it's good merging them together, like we've said, because, sometimes people just need to unlock what's holding them back. Maybe they're just scared, or they don't want to take the risk. You hear people saying, oh, I think I know what to do, but is it worth a risk? I'll just hold on to all my cards and not take that risk. But you've got to take risks in life to get somewhere.
Well, it's also taking a calculated risk and having a better understanding.
That's right.
Because there's such a vast amount of information out there that you can actually get lost. So part of our process and part of our journeys try to simplify the whole process, so people have got a checklist, so to speak, so that makes it a little bit easier for them.
Yeah, just to guide them.
That's
what you're doing.
That's precisely it. Just a better understanding and a more holistic, I guess, approach to the whole thing, and that will eliminate fear from people.
Yeah. So we spoke last time, and you said something about you're not going to do any jumping up and star jumps this time. You're going to do them next time. The Tony Robbins energy. Come on, people, let's go.
Not quite yet. Maybe in the break.
Because that always gets people pumped up, and all those motivational speakers and talks. They do a bit of that to just loosen people up.
We'll go with the crowd. But we had some cool music playing, so that was good.
You had some music?
Yeah.
While they're walking in?
while they were walking during the break.
During the breaks.
Oh, during the break.
Yeah.
Oh, what
It's
sort?
good.
Like what? House music?
Yeah, the sort of stuff that you play.
Oh, that I
The
played
cool
last
stuff,
time.
the new stuff that you
cool
played
stuff.
last time.
Mm.
Oh, did you use some of those songs? Because I gave you some of those songs,
I
didn't
think
I?
a couple were
I
on
think
there.
a couple of them were
Yeah.
on the
They were
list,
real
yeah.
cool,
Yeah.
chilled songs.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the
Like
environment
club
we need
music,
to have.
but chilled club music,
Yeah.
like, you know.
Yeah, it was the cool stuff.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's it. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you so
Thank
much
Thank
for
you for
having
having
us.
us.
Thank you, you're
Yes.
welcome.